The use of cloud services comes next. You begin to say, well, maybe AI chip demand isn't the whole investor story because I think, for the large part of the last 18 months, it's been, what about when everyone has enough chips? Whether Nvidia can ultimately make $150 billion from this. And that has been the sole topic of conversation. Maybe the discussion may shift a bit if we hear more about this on future earnings calls. Jensen Huang, the CEO and founder of Nvidia, just after the conference call. Welcome, Jensen. We really appreciate you being here. I'm glad to be present. It's good to see you all. You as well. I'd like to start with your next generation chip, Blackwell. During the call, you stated that it would be shipped this year. During the call, you also mentioned that Blackwell revenue will be high this year. What does it mean for revenue in the fourth quarter and for the entire year if we're looking at roughly $28 billion in revenue in the current quarter? And Blackwell is a more costly product than Hopper, the chip series that's now available. Well, that ought to be important. Yes, Blackwell. We also guide one quarter at a time, as you are aware. However, I can tell you this about Blackwell. This is a huge advancement in artificial intelligence. As you are aware, we'd have already reached 2 trillion parameters, and it was created for AI models with trillions of parameters. Between the size of the model and the amount of data, the amount of processing is increasing fourfold, and model sizes are increasing, almost doubling every 6 months. Therefore, the technology we offer to these data centers is crucial to their capacity to keep up with these big models. Thus, Blackwell is also made for extremely quick inference. Previously, inference was about identifying objects, but as you are aware, inferencing is now about creating information, or generative AI. Therefore, ChatGPT is a brand new inferencing technique whenever you speak with it, and it generates information for you, draws a picture for you, or recognizes anything, and then draws something for you. It takes a lot of performance and is really complex. Therefore, Blackwell is made for generative AI and huge models. Additionally, we made it to be compatible with any data center. Therefore, it can be liquid-cooled, air-cooled, X8, or this new, groundbreaking CPU that we created dubbed Grace Blackwell Superchip. After that, it supports InfiniBand data centers, just as we did before, but we also support Ethernet, a brand new kind of data center. AI will be included into Ethernet data centers. Therefore, there are a lot more methods to use Blackwell than there were with the Hopper generation. I'm thrilled about that then. Jensen, I would like to discuss the inferencing. As we transition from training to inferencing, several experts have raised the possibility that some in-house processors from firms like Microsoft, Google, or Amazon might be better suited for the actual inferencing. How does that affect Nvidia, I suppose? Well, inferencing was simple once. You know, there was no such thing as generative AI when inference was first discussed. Of course, generative AI is about making predictions, but these predictions are about the next token, the next pixel, or the next frame, and it's all complicated. Additionally, generative AI is employed to comprehend the content. You need to comprehend context and memory in order to appropriately construct the content. Therefore, you need context memory because the memory size is so enormous currently. You need to be able to create the next token as quickly as possible. Making an image, creating a video, and being able to reason about a certain activity so that it may create a plan all require a significant amount of tokens. Therefore, inference became much more difficult in the generative AI age. As you are aware, the quantity of chips meant for inference sort of dwindled, and now there is discussion about creating new chips. People can continue to experiment and develop these incredible new AIs because of Nvidia's architecture's adaptability, you know. Blackwell is on his way. So, in other words, you think you still have a competitive advantage even as the market sort of shifts to inferencing. We're in a terrific situation because, as you know, inference is an extremely difficult topic. There are a lot of various kinds of models that people employ, and the software stack is complicated. For us, it will represent a huge market potential. Nowadays, Nvidia is used for the great bulk of inferencing that individuals do in their data centers and online. I so anticipate that to continue. Due to the enormous demand, You stated on the call a few times that you will be limited in supply of both Hopper and Blackwell chips. Well, till next year. How are you going to handle that? Is it possible to enhance supply by pulling any levers? After we revealed Blackwell, Hopper demand increased all through this quarter. That sort of indicates the level of demand in the market. These data centers are now being sought after for deployment. They want to use our GPUs immediately so they can start earning money and saving money. Thus, the demand is just very high. Taking a step back and realizing that what we are doing is not a GPU chip is crucial, you know. We refer to it as GPU in Blackwell. But in reality, we are constructing AI factories. These AI factories are equipped with CPUs, GPUs, and extremely complex memory. The systems are extremely intricate. InfiniBand switches, InfiniBand NICs, an NVLink switch, and now Ethernet switches and Ethernet NICs are all connected to it. NVLink, an extraordinarily intricate spine, connects all of this together. Furthermore, it is astounding how much software is required to construct and operate all of this. Therefore, we effectively construct these AI factories. We construct it as a comprehensive platform and architecture. However, we then break it down so that our partners may use it in any type of data center. Additionally, each cloud has a slightly different stack and architecture. Although everyone is a little different, our stacks and architecture may now be thoroughly integrated into theirs. Therefore, we construct it as an AI factory. After that, we break it down so that AI factories are accessible to anyone. This is simply an amazing feat. And we're really loud when we do this. It's just really, really difficult. Therefore, every single aspect of our data center is the most sophisticated computer ever created. Therefore, it seems sense that practically everything is limited. How do cloud providers stack up against the other sectors you mentioned that are acquiring Nvidia CPUs or venturing into the Gen AI space? As you said in the release's remarks, CFO Colette Crest told us that those cloud providers account for 40 to 45% of data center revenue. What does the opening of these additional industries entail for Nvidia? I wonder whether the cloud providers will lose part of their market share and if these other businesses will replace them. I anticipate that they will both develop. First off, we approve of the financial arrangement, Jeff. About that, are there any sort of levers you can pull to help increase supply? Hopper demand grew throughout this quarter after we announced Blackwell. And so that kind of tells you how much demand there is out there. People want to deploy these data centers right now. They want to put our GPUs to work right now and start making money and start saving money. And so that demand is just so strong. You know, it's really important to take a step back and realize that what we build is not a GPU chip. We call it Blackwell, and we call it GPU, but we're really building AI factories. These AI factories have CPUs and GPUs and really complicated memory. The systems are really complicated. It's connected by NVLink. There's an NVLink switch. There are InfiniBand switches, InfiniBand NICs, and now we have Ethernet switches and Ethernet NICs. All of this is connected together with this incredibly complicated spine called NVLink. And the amount of software that it takes to build and run all this is incredible. And so these AI factories are essentially what we build. We build it as a holistic unit, as a holistic architecture and platform. But then we disaggregate it so that our partners can take it and put it into data centers of any kind. And every single cloud has slightly different architectures and different stacks. And our stacks and our architecture can now be deeply integrated into theirs, but everybody's a little different. So we build it as an AI factory. We then disaggregate it so that everybody can have AI factories. This is just an incredible thing. And we do this at very high volume. It's just very, very hard to do. And so every component, every part of our data center is the most complex computer the world's ever made. And so it's sensible that almost everything is constrained. I would like to